guys, Coach Chris here, and today we're going to learn a combination of 3 exercises that would help us to control our weight shift and as well engage our midsection muscles. And last one is strengthening and stretching our quads, which is our thigh muscles, all at the same time. So this is done one after the other, and I'll take you through it. A couple of things that's going to make this one help you improve at is your balance, firstly, and awareness of where your left and right hip is when it comes to loading them up. Alright, so let's get started. First movement that we're going to do is getting you into a wide stance. A good way to do this one at home is using a wall. So placing one foot against the wall, as that wall is going to help us not to slide too much in case we lose control of this leg. Okay? Then just bringing both of your feet slightly wider than hip width apart, just like what I'm doing here. Then from that position, I'm going to hinge my hips. So that is pushing my hips back and bending it as much as I can, while bending my knees but not too much. So once I get into that hinged position, a couple of things that would matter as well is if your ankles would collapse in, your knees are going to cave in more and more. That's why what I encourage you to do is avoid that your ankles are collapsing in and really gripping the floor, just like what I'm doing here. And from that one, during that hinged position, we're going to slowly glide side to side. As you can see what I'm doing over here, my feet is actively gripping the floor like an eagle claw, and just shifting my weight from my right going to my left. Muscles that I should be feeling over here, my inner thigh muscles together with my hamstrings, which is the back part of my thighs. So as I shift my weight side to side, you'd notice here as I shift my weight towards my left side, my right knee straightens, my left knee bends a bit more. And same thing goes as I shift to the other side. So it's very important to be consciously locking our knees out and bending our knees, then alternating it. Another thing that you might notice here is that the position of my shoulders. So whenever I shift my weight towards this side, I'm keeping my shoulders pretty much not beyond where my knee is. So I'm not shifting my weight this side, I'm not shifting my weight either on this side instead. I'm trying my best that my shoulders and my knees do stay almost in line. If you're doing this one beside a wall would be helping you as well on not to hit your shoulders there, because you're going to try to avoid that wall as much as you can as you're doing your hip shift. So you can do between 5 to 10 hip shifts each side. You're standing up. Next one would be doing is something for a midsection, which is the dead bug. One of the simplest midsection or core exercises there is. So just lying onto your back, nice and flat onto the floor. So what you will be doing here first is make sure that your belly button is pulling down the floor. So if I'm trying to place my hand underneath my back, there's no space that my hand can get into because I'm actively pulling my belly button down. And after that, it's going to lift both hands up, both legs up. For the dead bug, it doesn't matter how low you can drop this leg, as long as you can maintain that midsection stability as you bring one leg or as you lower one leg at a time. Okay? So always exhale as you lower your legs. So if I'm going to do it for a few reps, breathing in, breathe out. Breathing in, coming back up, breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out, breathe out. Breathing in, breathing out. And if just moving the legs is too easy for you, you can even raise both of your arms up, then allow opposite sides to move at the same time. So breathing in, so I'm actively pulling my belly button down throughout the whole time. So after doing between, say, 8 to 16 repetitions. So 8 reps means the count would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So after doing between 8 to 16 repetitions of the dead bugs, last exercise for this combination would be the reverse fallback. So how that one's going to look like. If you do have a mat at home or even a pillow, that would work. Fold it up to a sort of a level of cushioning that's going to support your knee or not going to give you any discomfort on your knee. Keeping or maintaining that your knee, your hip, shoulders, head do stay in line. Toes, plantar flex this way, if you can. So back side, it's going to look like this. So once you get into that position, find your pelvic tilt first. So you don't want this arch position, otherwise you're going to hurt your back and it's not going to achieve its purpose. Instead, you're going to backwardly tilt your pelvis, squeezing your glutes, then shortening your midsection muscles. You may place your hands on top of your shoulders, and then from that, you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, you're going to slowly bend your knees more as you lean further back. You're going to feel a big work and stretch onto your thigh muscles together with your core. A bit of your glute muscles will engage here as well. And exhale, returning forward. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. Breathing in. Breathe out. So try that one out. In case that your ankles are not feeling well or your foot doesn't like that position, you can even get into that dorsiflex position where your toes are actively pushing the floor down. So again, breathing in, then breathe out. Breathing in, breathe out. So very important here that your thigh muscles are getting a stretch and strengthening sort of feel whenever you do this one. Again, do this one between 5 to 10 reps. So just a quick recap, if I'm going to do it one after the other. Start by going to that wide stance, hip shift, hinge position, shifting side to side. So this is how it's going to look like, by the way, from a side angle. So you can see there, my hips always stay between my shoulders and my knees. Okay. So after doing 5 to 10 of those, I'm gonna get down, flat onto my back. I'm gonna do the dead bugs. So again, 8 to 16 repetitions of the dead bugs. Right after that, to my tall kneeling position, finding my pelvic tilt, glutes tight, core tight, good stretch reflex onto your thighs, hands on top of your shoulders, going to breathe in, breathe out. Toe position either this way or this way. Even as you fall back, you want to make sure that everything stays straight. Using your quads, core, glute muscles. Returning forward. So give those exercise combinations a go, and let me know what you think.